Welcome to TV20 News. We are Cleveland. I'm Leah Longbreak. To commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Cuyahoga River Fire, the River Network brought their yearly River Rally Conference here to Cleveland. Conservationists and activists from across the country met at Cleveland's Westin Hotel for an evening of brainstorming. We spoke with Nicole Silk, President and CEO of River Network, to learn about the yearly convention.
River Network is a national conservation organization that really focuses on connecting the thousands of organizations that are working at the local level all over the country. We connect them and we add value and we help them get to bigger solutions.
Joining the members of the River Network on stage was Mayor Frank Jackson.
Put in the work. Do the work. Even though you know it won't go anywhere right now, do the work. Because when the time comes and the change comes, then you'll be able to implement and execute. But if you wait until that time before you begin to put in the work, then you would have missed this window of opportunity.
For more information on the River Network, visit rivernetwork.org. The Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District, Canalway Partners, state and local officials, residents, and regional organizations had a lot to celebrate at Settlers Landing with the unveiling of the new Superior Avenue pump station and the Phase 4 groundbreaking of the Towpath Trail during Cuyahoga 50 Week.
This is an important day because of obviously the significance of the last time the Cuyahoga River caught on fire, but it's really more of a celebration of 50 years of progress. So this is environmental progress. You look at that, you look at the Canal Basin Park, which is going to be coming online fairly soon. So it's all part of the National Park Network. So all of this culminates right here at this location. So it's a great day for the community to celebrate the progress, but realizing that there's still a lot of work to be done.
So Mayor Jackson is with us, members of our board are here, folks from our partner organizations, the National Park, West Creek Conservancy, other communities. We're going to recognize the Superior Avenue pump station. There's going to be a groundbreaking for the Towpath Trail, and there's going to be a lot of conversation about partnership and long-term work for improvement.
You can catch the unveiling and groundbreaking in its entirety only here on TV20. Check our schedule for times and subscribe to our TV20 YouTube channel. Well, continuing with the Cuyahoga 50 celebrations, a big event was held at Rivergate Park. Here's TV20 reporter Errol Porter with more.
Thanks, Leah. Had a chance to come to a fantastic celebration that's been 50 years in the making. Once upon a time, a mistake on a lake, now a championship river.
Not celebrating the fire, we're celebrating the fact it was a catalyst for many things to happen. Clean Water Act, EPA, and as a result of 50 years of environmental actions, we now have a river that at one time was considered dead, that now we have I think they said about 70 species of fish. You see all the recreational activity, whereas before you wouldn't be able to do that.
There's no fires behind you. That's a great thing.
There's no fires. That's something to celebrate, and we haven't had one for exactly 50 years ago, June 22nd, 1969.
Wow, 50 years, long time. Once again, we were a mistake on the lake, grew into a championship city. What effort did that take from everyone?
Oh my God, I mean, it really started in many ways with Mayor Carl Stokes. Before 69, and actually 1968, he passed a $100 million water bond, the largest really in the country at that time. So he cared about water, people cared about water, and then when the fire hit, the 13th we'd had in our history, they were able to take advantage of that in a way. Mayor Stokes went down to the river the next day, said, media, come on, I gotta show you, this is unacceptable, that our river's still burning. He went with his brother, Louis Stokes, to DC. They said, we can do stuff locally, but we need help federally. That helped lead to the US EPA and the Clean Water Act. And that Clean Water Act you see here today, that is a major reason we have what we have today in terms of clean water.
So it was 45 years ago At 5 years after the last burning of the Cuyahoga River, this incredible new thing called an urban park came about here in this area. Cuyahoga Valley National Park was formed. And today that park, a river runs through that park, and that river is for recreation and access. At once where nobody would even step into it, right. It's now a place for everyone, all Americans, to enjoy.
It absolutely has. I mean, it's such a gorgeous day. It's so fun being out here with everybody celebrating how far we've come in the last 50 years.
Did you ever think you'd be out here celebrating water?
No, I didn't ever dream of it, but here we are, and I'm going to enjoy every minute of it.
It's a great thing here. We're celebrating our clean water, and there's no fires out there.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful day today. It's a beautiful sunny day, and so many people out on the river actually enjoying it without any worry about getting oil on their canoes, you know?
Now, I used to hear the stories years ago, our river was on fire, and there was a mistake on the lake. You were able to witness some of that?
Well, I'm not quite that old, but I'm up there. I do know though that there are times when I wouldn't want to step my toes into that water. Of course, I'm from the Upper Cuyahoga, so we're from Geauga County, Portage County. We've got some beautiful, pristine waters, but all that water comes down here. Correct. We're trying to keep it clean for you guys down here too.
Now, what does it take? I guess efforts every single day to help keep this thing together, right?
Well, it's a lot of people making sure they do their part. Individual responsibility, but we also got to make sure that we've got the money and the resources, the regulations that keep our water clean with making sure our wastewater's treated instead of raw sewage going out there. We want to make sure that we're preventing runoff from farmland. We don't want people's septic tanks emptying into the ditches and getting into the water. So it's really everybody's got a stake in this.
Hey, thanks for joining us down here at the Cuyahoga River for a great celebration. I'm Earl Porter reporting for TV20. We are Cleveland. Now back to you, Leah.
Residents, activists, state and local officials came together at the Huntington Convention Center in downtown Cleveland to discuss the lead crisis at the inaugural Lead Safe Summit hosted by United Way of Greater Cleveland and the Lead Safe Cleveland Coalition. Council President Kevin Kelly and Ward 6 Councilman Blaine Griffin made it clear that Cleveland City Council is doing what it takes to stop lead issues in our community.
Do not think for 1 second that we are not paying absolute attention to everything that happens in these committees. There's this myth that we're on like recess or something for the summer. Blaine can tell you, we're going to work through the summer. We're going to continue on this issue. This is the top agenda item for Cleveland City Council. We will get this done. We will create a lead safe Cleveland with all of us together. So thank you so much for everything that you've done for this cause.
We have legislation that we have introduced at Cleveland City Council to make sure that we have lead-safe housing in the city of Cleveland. And we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that we protect our children in the city of Cleveland. With that being said, the legislation that we've introduced has been a partnership with the administration. And I'm proud to say Mayor Jackson and his administration have stepped up to really make sure that this is also a priority of the administration as well.
Mayor Frank Jackson thanks City Council and those in attendance for their commitment and involvement in trying to end lead exposure.
Everyone that has an opportunity and an obligation and a role to play has to step up in order to solve the problem that we present. And lead is that problem that we're presenting to this community today. And no one can take it back. No matter how difficult the decision may have to be made, no matter how contrary to the institutions that we represent it may be, we're going to have to do those things necessary in order for us to be successful.
The keynote speech was given by author and pediatrician Mona Hanna-Attisha, whose research helped expose the Flint, Michigan water crisis. She tells us the key elements to protect against lead.
So the most important thing is that we need to be focused on something called primary prevention, which in the world of public health and medicine is the recognition that we're supposed to find lead in our environment before children are ever exposed. There is no safe level of lead. The treatment for lead is really prevention. So our work, double down efforts should really be on checking homes and soil and paint and water and dust before kids are ever exposed. So the most important thing is that really inspection and infrastructure work to get the lead out of the places that our kids hang out in. I am so proud to be here in Cleveland and so proud of all the organizers of this event and all the attendees in recognizing the important and critical work that we must all do in regards to lead elimination. So this is a timely conference. There is a drumbeat, a bright spotlight really around the nation, largely because of what happened in Flint, recognizing that our role in removing the threat of lead for our children is unfinished and that we all need to come together, sleeves rolled up, to make sure that our children have the brightest future possible.
Spectrum hosted their Community Impact Day at Thurgood Marshall Recreation Center. Raman Khan, VP of Community Impact for Spectrum, tells us about the event and why Cleveland.
We chose Cleveland because we know Cleveland has the needs, but also the passion for impacting community. So we're about impacting community. We know Cleveland is about impacting the community. So we wanted to partner with the city, with the police department, with different groups like Police Athletic League, with the Thurgood Marshall Recreation Center, all coming together, rebuilding together to make a difference in this community. We are giving away safe and healthy home kits, 250 safe and healthy home kits to the first folks to come here out today. We have DJs, we have a radio station, we have food trucks, we have nonprofits that's providing resources for folks. But we're glad to be giving out these safe and healthy home kits. Fire alarm, smoke detectors, weather radios, caulking equipment, all kinds of things, $75, $80 worth of stuff in these safe and healthy home kits we're proud to give away.
For Spectrum to do this work across the country, it says a lot about the type of businesses that we like to see in the world, where there's businesses that are not only talking about developing or building buildings, but helping build people. So, and of course, you know, being the councilman here, this is where I grew up at, you know, I want to always bring them opportunities and expose them to the world. You know, I've had the opportunity to travel across this country, across this world, you know what I mean? And it really helped shape who I am today. So if the young people here and the adults who are here, if they're exposed to the world, man, it's changing their perspective. It changes how they view themselves, how they view their community, and how they view the world, and how the world views them. So that's why it's important to do this, not just for building up the homes, but for building up the people and letting them know that there are people who care about you. Not just people that look like you, but people who from different backgrounds, different religions, different cultures, but all have one understanding, which is that we have to make the community better, make human beings' lives better.
It's really ideal when you have families that are able to see, you know, the good things that are here in their neighborhood, for things that you can do to keep your house safe, things for seniors, things for children. And then also there's a partnership. So right now they are investing in rehabbing 4 homes throughout Ward 7. So it's really trying to, again, invest in this thing called community, and you can't do that without the people. And it really is encouraging to see we have good community stewards like Spectrum, the Charter Communications family, and other community partners coming and visiting us here in Cleveland.
I want to say thank you so much to Mayor Jackson, thank you to Council President Kelly, and thank you to the administration. I want to say thank you to the Cleveland Police Department. The police have been out here not only protecting our community, but they've also been helping fix some of the homes. So it's been amazing to see, like, you know what I'm saying, the cops out there, they got their pistols on them, but they painting this, you know what I mean? Like, it just changes the frame of mind of how we view these amazing people. So, you know, one of my goals is to truly bridge the gap between the police and the community, because there's officers that truly care, and there's community members that truly care. But there's also officers that don't care, and there's community members that don't care. So we need to connect those who do care together and let people know that don't make sweeping statements. Everybody that comes from this community is not evil, and every officer is not bad. It's only a small minority in both that messes up the whole bunch of apples. So we need to work with those who want to work with us.
In a solemn ceremony held inside the Soldiers and Sailors Monument at Public Square, 107 new names were added to the Roll of Honor.
From the 5th United States Colored Troop, Company H, Private Henry Boger. From the 5th United States Colored Troop, Company K, Private Robert Robinson. From the 12th United States Colored Troop, Company E, Private Henry Wheeler.
As all of the names of the newly found heroes were read, it is important to understand who they are and where they all came from. Tim Daly, Executive Director of the Monument, has those answers.
Ultimately, we came up with 107 names of men that we could verify that signed up for the Army in Cuyahoga County during the Civil War and had completed their tour of service. The problem was that in 1889, when they were building the monument, the records to show that they had completed their tour of service were not available. They were either lost or nothing was recorded.
Finding the 107 didn't take place overnight. Daley said it was a painstaking process that took 10 years to properly vet each one.
So we had the original microfilm, so we'd take a copy of the microfilm. We went through the National Archives, digitized, and we found some of the original cards that were published in the fields. Then we had to go to the pension records, and then so we had to put it together. Oftentimes the records didn't match, so then we had to figure out, was it one person or two person? Oftentimes files were intermingled, so yes, it was a very slow and detailed effort, but we wanted to make sure that when we honored these men, we got it right.
Daley went on to say that with digitization of new records, it is possible to find even more people to add to the roll of honor. To learn more about the Soldiers and Sailors Monument, visit their website at soldiersandsailors.com. The Cuyahoga County Fathers Initiative held their 15th annual Fatherhood Conference, and they want everyone to know that fathers matter. Al Grimes, director of the Fatherhood Initiative, spoke to us about the conference.
Because we want to celebrate healthy father-child relationships. We know there's a lot of relationships out here now that people talk about that are negative, but we do have a lot of fathers that are doing the right thing, grinding every day, and we want to make sure that we recognize that. And then also, you know, we are going to talk about the complications that come about as a result of father absence and discuss those issues and let fathers know exactly how important it is for them to be involved.
2 segments comprised the bulk of the conference. The first was the town hall meeting, where a panel of experts took questions from the audience and spoke about the rights men have as fathers.
My courtroom particularly, but I think in other courtrooms too, of the other juvenile and domestic judges, we require parenting plans. I don't want somebody to just put 2 sentences together, like this person, you know, has a child this day, this person has this child that day. I want a plan. If you can do a plan to divide in divorce, you know, you do separation agreement, divide your CD collection and your kitchen dishes and your salt and pepper collections, right? We can spend pages on these things, but you don't spend any time or effort putting it to your child. So in our court, we require the parents to go to mediation to come up with a plan.
The second part of the conference was the awards ceremony, where fathers were recognized and honored for their hard work and commitment to being good dads.
We're going to give some awards out to the outstanding fathers in the community. We have 10 fathers that have been nominated for awards. We're also going to have some children who've written essays about what their fathers mean to them. We had about 200 essays, and out of those essays, we chose 3 children to come read their essays today. So that's going to be pretty special at the luncheon as well.
The keynote address was delivered by Warrensville Heights Mayor Brad Sellers. Mayor Sellers gave some statistics about children who grow up without fathers in their lives.
33% of the kids in this country do not live with their biological father. And, you know, it puts kids at a greater infant mortality rate, a greater chance of the kid living in poverty. Kids are more likely to have behavioral problems. Girls are more likely to become pregnant. Children are more likely to face abuse, neglect.
For more information on the Cuyahoga County Fatherhood Initiative, visit their website at fatherhoodinitiative.cuyahogacounty.us. And we'll be right back with more TV20 News.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Calls me googly eyes.
You know you're beautiful, right? You know that?
Even you are beautiful. I got bullied bullied for wearing glasses. Share if you're against bullying.
We put it out there, just took off. 3 million people have shared this post. Don't let bullies get you down. I stand with you. The whole family's wearing glasses. I wear glasses and I'm proud.
I even have the army on my team.
All the kind comments brought my child joy. I don't feel thank you is enough.
That's
Welcome back to TV20 News. We are Cleveland. I'm Leah Longbreak. Well, it was a glamorous affair for the 14th annual Who's Who in Black Cleveland book unveiling party. Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson welcomed everyone to the event and commended the publishers for the work they do.
The exposure that young people need to help define for them what are proper choices and opportunities and aspirations, things that can be achieved. But if in fact it's kept in the dark, if in fact it is not revealed, then they have no concept that they can do.
Before the book cover was unveiled, human and civil rights activist Reverend Dr. Otis Moss Jr. was presented with the group's Lifetime Achievement Award.
And as we come to the conclusion of this event, let me thank the members and staff and founders of Who's Who in Black, Who's Who in Black America, Who's Who in Black Cleveland.
The end of the ceremony brought the unveiling of the year's book of Who's Who in Black Cleveland. For more information, visit the Who's Who publishing website at who'swhoblackAmerica.com. The tall ships were back and docked at North Coast Harbor, and the crew that brought them in may surprise you. When the Dennis Sullivan came into port, the crew that brought it in looked a lot like teenagers, and that's because they were. Heather Holmes, producer of the 2019 Tall Ships Festival, explains.
The Dennis Sullivan is here today to drop off a student crew of Northeast Ohio students and residents who took a week sailing trip from Milwaukee back here to Cleveland. So as you're seeing right now, they are reuniting with their families after being out on the water for a whole week. So it's a great opportunity and a nice preview of what's to come in just a few weeks.
Crewman Armani Johnson, who comes from the Kinsman area of Cleveland, said it was a little tough when they first started out.
Well, some of us got seasick, including me, and it was hard because the waves hit the boat really hard and fast, but the team took care of us and they showed that they cared for us.
Naomi Morris said the best part of the voyage was the long-lasting friendships she made with her fellow shipmates.
I made a lot of new friends. I only knew one person coming here, and I made 18 other new friends.
Did you learn anything about yourself on this trip?
Oh, I learned that I love the water, and I learned that I really like those teamwork situations, and just making sure everybody understands things. I realized I like working with people to, get for a bigger purpose and getting something.
Clevelander Alex Van Leer recalls the beauty of just being on the lake during her trip.
The water was really pretty when the sunsets and sunrises were really beautiful. The way the sun reflects off the water is really, really cool. I think that was one of my favorite parts.
For more information on the Cleveland Tall Ships Festival, visit tallships.cle. Well, one of the biggest celebrations of summer took place on the Cuyahoga, the annual Burning River Festival. Thousands came out to enjoy the annual celebration of food, music, and helping the environment. Jonette Romero of Cleveland Public Utilities says the Burning River Fest is about more than what you may think.
We're here today celebrating the 50th anniversary of the burning of the Cuyahoga River. And what happened with that is very instrumental in creating environmental protections for water quality. And so we have made great progress with that. And this is a celebration. Every year we have Burning River Fest, and Cleveland Water is here every single year as a major sponsor of the event to maintain the quality, to make sure that we keep our lakes safe and we can keep providing quality water to our customers.
Romero said that money raised from the festival will help maintain the quality of Lake Erie, which is the source of Cleveland drinking water. Festival goers ate, drank, and partied throughout the night, but also took away some good environmental lessons as well. The city of Cleveland may have shined on this day, but it was the famous Crooked River that was the star of the show. Camp George Forbes on the city's east side hosted an all-day event for girls from the various recreation centers as part of their trauma prevention program. TV20 special correspondent Kai Love spoke with the girls and program leaders to find out why events like this are so important.
Cleveland is doing a great thing for our girls. I know personally that the mayor and that the entire city supports the children of Cleveland, and this is why we are so glad to be here and show you today just what we do. Are you having a good time? Yeah. All right, tell Cleveland you're having a good time. We're having a good time. Hey, they don't believe you. Say we're having a good time, Cleveland. We're having a good time. Chief, I wanted to know from your perspective, what is this event all about for you and what is the vision for the city?
So what we've been working on is providing expanded programs and opportunities in our recreation centers. Our goal is to transform the rec centers into trauma-informed care community resource centers. And so as a part of that effort, we have put in place expanded programs and initiatives designed to help address some of those core issues associated with trauma and toxic stress. And so one of the areas that we're working on is youth leadership development. And so this is one of those activities designed to bring our girls together, to help them to grow, to help them to understand that they have a voice, to help them to understand how to utilize that voice, and to use it in a way where they're giving back to the community.
So from your perspective, what has this type of programming done for the girls so far?
Well, I think it's let them be girls and have a good time. You know, the recreation centers have amazing programming, but we know that sometimes girls need that outlet to just be girls with other young women. And that's what today has been all about, is to really let them have time to laugh, to giggle, to play, to, you know, explore topics about both themselves, but also just what it means to be a girl.
We had an awesome time out here at Camp George Forbes, and this was just an awesome program for the city of Cleveland and for our youth, showing that we care, doing what we do. I am Kai Love, and this is TV20. We are Cleveland.
Thanks, Kai. To find out more information about your local recreation centers, visit the City of Cleveland website at city.cleveland.oh.us. Well, that's all for our TV20 News. We are Cleveland. I'm Leah Longbreak. Up next, we'll have Christian Patterson with the Inside Sports Report.